Hey, this is Peter Estes with Valley CAD. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a pre-recorded webinar that we did live all about SOLIDWORKS Electrical Schematic. And actually not just showing the software, but also how easy it is to migrate from other electrical CAD software or simple 2D CAD software into electrical schematic. Before we get into that video, I want to send out a huge thank you to everyone that attended that webinar, as well as to Thomas Smith. He's the one that did the presentation. He did a fantastic job. So without holding you guys much longer, let's go hop into that webinar right now and let's learn something new about SOLIDWORKS Electrical Schematic. I'll see you over there in a click.
Full of the time. We allotted 30 minutes. I got a lot of content. So I'm going to dive into it and, hopefully, I can stay on track and we have time to address any questions. But one thing I will say, whether we have time to address questions directly at the end or not, if you have questions, please get them out to us, and myself and Pete's team, we will ensure that everything gets addressed. So with that, let me get my PowerPoint activated here and we'll get into this. So quick introduction. I said I'm not going to turn on my camera, but there's like a 1.5-year old picture of me before my hair went crazy. I am an electrical industry process consultant with Dassault Systems. I focus solely on our ECAD tools, and I support all of North America in the efforts of SOLIDWORKS Electrical and Electrical 3D. Some of my past experience, I started off as a controls designer in industry. From there, I went to become an ECAD consultant with the Autodesk channel, and I did that for multiple years before starting my own business doing consulting and design work. And I've been with SOLIDWORKS now for a little over 2 years. So just about 12 years in total in industry, starting back as an actual controls designer. I am located in the mountains of Colorado, so that's where I am, and again, support all of North America. So it's great to be here. That's enough about me, and let's get into the content for today. So we're here to talk about SOLIDWORKS Electrical, but specifically, Pete asked us to speak on the transition. As organizations look to to adopt new technology to help them meet the organizational goals that they have, there's a lot of fear that can come along with that change, right? I mean, you guys and organizations have been doing things a certain way for so long. And this is true for any facet of life, right? Change can be uncomfortable and change can be scary. But what we're hoping to put in front of you today is some content that will help ease some of the concern that you have as you approach the idea of transitioning to an intelligent CAD tool. So with that, my topic today is migration made easy. And, SOLIDWORKS Electrical, as you guys are probably aware, is an intelligent CAD tool specifically designed to help you create schematics and layouts, your mechanical routing, all, efficiently, fully connected and associative. But again, a part of that, which we understand, is that companies and organizations, when they come to the point of adopting our technology, have some form of legacy data. And almost everybody we talk to approaches us with this question, what can we do with what we already have? And so, today's content is all around, how can we take what you've been using and bring that forward, but add the additional intelligence and functionality that comes with SOLIDWORKS Electrical. So these are the 4 buckets we're going to look at today: legacy project data, productivity gains, improvements in quality and format, and then learning curve. Specifically within each one of these, under legacy product data, I'm going to speak about title blocks, importing any symbols that you already use, and any manufacturer's parts that you've been utilizing up to this point, all of which are facilitated with fully intelligent wizards inside of our application. Then we're going to look at some productivity advancements all around design intelligence, design reuse, and the ability to perform design audits. So this is an additional functionality that you get on top of your already imported legacy data. And then because we're bringing it all forward into this intelligent environment, obviously we're going to get improvements in quality and format. But at the same time, we're able to maintain that look and feel that you are comfortable with, that your customers are comfortable with, that production and the shop floor is comfortable with. And we're able to do that with intelligent documentation and improved outputs and deliverables. And then finally, we'll talk briefly about, the learning side of it. Obviously, that's a big portion. You have to get your users, your designers and engineers up to speed with the tool. And, what does that look like going forward? So this is our agenda. To help me stay on track with my talk track and with my time track, I've put this all in videotized format that I will audio over. But again, if any further demonstration is needed, you guys see some that perk your interest, get with ValleyCAD or myself, and we can produce a more in-depth in-application demo for you guys. But with that, let's dive in here. So as I mentioned, I'm going to start with legacy project data. And with that, we're going to talk about title blocks. I mentioned on the front end of this that everything that we're going to talk about when it comes to bringing forward your legacy data is that we streamline that process for you by making certain wizards available to you. So the first wizard we're going to look at is a title block import wizard. So with that, let's jump in. Now, the actual tool that you're seeing right in front of you now is DraftSite. So this is the equivalent to AutoCAD, right? And inside of here in my CAD, my generic standard CAD tool, I have several title blocks. These are the title blocks we've been using for years. They have our attributes that we like to track, that we auto-populate, the ladders, the rung numbers, everything's in here. So that's on the that's just in standard CAD, DraftSite or AutoCAD. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition over to SOLIDWORKS Electrical. So once I'm in this environment, again, it's really straightforward process. Here I got a library and title block manager. Within this area, I simply, can access all of my title blocks that I've currently utilized, but I also have the import wizard right here, where I can simply, select files or folders to bring in mass title blocks for conversion. In this case, I'm going out to my default directory. Under my ECAD folder, there I have my title block location. In this case, I got 3 title blocks that I'm going to bring forward. Now, you can see right here, I have configurations available. This is because we automate the process. We understand that companies are coming from various CAD tools. We understand the use of attributes, etc. So we give these wizards to allow you to automatically define properties and to automatically replace attributes with the SOLIDWORKS electrical attribute. So there is no additional work needed on your part. So here in just a few clicks, I was able to import, fully intelligent converted import, and grab those 3 new title blocks that I just created. So there they are. Again, what you witnessed is fully intelligent conversion of these. And in fact, I'm going to use these 3 title blocks through all the examples that we'll witness going forward. So that's it. Nothing else. You got title blocks, you got attributes. We understand that. And so we can set a mapping structure to automatically say, when this attribute is utilized, replace it with the SOLIDWORKS electrical attribute. With a few clicks of a button, all your current title blocks are ready to roll inside of electrical. So again, here within this example, I've continued to bring those title blocks forward. This is this imported title block. Everything that we are going to witness inside of these next demonstrations is imported. Every element is imported from another CAD tool. And what I'm demonstrating here is the full functionality and the intelligence that gets added. So let's take a look. Simple. So now I'm inside of a project, but I'm going to stay on that same library tab. And there I got a symbols manager. Again, giving me access to all the symbols that are located within my database. But simply import symbol. Again, add files or folders. In this case, I'm going to add a folder because I'm coming in this scenario from the Autodesk tool. And so within that Autodesk tool, I had a defined block library. What's cool about this is that I can bring in mass blocks. In this example, I'm doing roughly 40, but this could be hundreds of thousands, and you could do it overnight or whatever. But again, it's the intelligence behind this. So it detects that I got 40 new symbols. What type of configuration? Is it coming from AutoCAD, AutoCAD Electrical? etc. By doing that, it automatically defines properties for these, automatically performs attribute mapping and conversion. I get nice graphical information, the ability to define properties, units, etc. But again, right here is, is the meat and potatoes of it all. The intelligence comes from being able to pull attributes that are using and automatically push in the required SOLIDWORKS electrical attributes. We streamline the entire process for you. I mean, literally, a few click of buttons and you can convert an entire library going forward, libraries of symbols and title blocks. You can customize these configurations and utilize them going forward. But again, we're going to witness and take a look at these changes I made. So here, again, are the 40 symbols that were just imported. They all come in, with the appropriate geometry. But it's more than just geometry, right? We have to have intelligence inside of them. And so as you can see, as I open up this symbol, those attributes are now converted into the SOLIDWORKS electrical variation of that attribute, meaning that this symbol is fully ready to go. I can add any further additional intelligence that I want because now you're in a powerful tool. We have additional functionality inside of that we can take advantage of if we so choose, or we can just bring in that converted geometry. So I'm just showing a little preview here of coming in and adding more detailed circuit information so that the software understands the component type, that this is a measurement device, that this particular device has one circuit with 3 terminals in it, et cetera, and it understands, how to flow that out. So again, if you have this data that you've been reproducing and utilizing, for years, that doesn't change. We can, we come with out-of-the-box symbols that support, all major standards. But if you want what you have, let's use it and make it fully intelligent. So again, in this example, I'm just going to place, that same UV scanner that we've been looking at within this diagram. So just getting into my place, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to work from my palette. I find this to be a very user-friendly way to navigate and access my symbols. There I typed in UV scanner. It presented me, with the symbol that I wanted. Simple drag and drop from my palette. I get an intelligent symbol here that you can see, all the attributes are consuming the various metadata. I got all my circuit information defined. What I'm quickly previewing here is the ability to, add manufacturer's parts onto this. You guys saw me do the workflow from simple import, convert it, change those attributes. But now, what you're witnessing is the power is this guy is fully ready to go and be utilized within the application, carrying all the necessary connection points and metadata to ensure our BOM is accurate and all of our wire data is accurate as well. Just to reiterate, everything we're looking at inside of here is fully converted from AutoCAD, in this case, AutoCAD Electrical. So you can kind of see, the level of conversion that we get. Moving right along. Lastly, for legacy project data, we need to talk about, manufacturer's parts. And within manufacturer's parts, you guys have been utilizing the, BOM information for years and years and developed quite a robust library. So, we don't have to let any of that information go as well. We can bring that forward, and this is just as easy as what we've been witnessing so far. So back to the library tab, here I have a manufacturer's parts manager. So we'll go in there. As we've seen before, we have an import. Instead of working with DWG files or blocks, this time we're working with an XLS. And in this particular example, just to kind of follow the flow that I've been, working with, this is an exported BOM from AutoCAD Electrical. This is nothing special besides they just exported the bill of material for this one. So I'm going to take this XLS default way that it was created, and we can see a preview of it over here on the right. Again, we can create custom configurations and mapping if we needed to. We could facilitate all that here. But essentially, once we define the XLS spreadsheet that's bringing in the data, you can see here this is only one sheet. All we have to do next is tell it what type of information we're wanting to add. In this case, we're doing manufacturer's parts. And so it's going to allow us to define, that mapping. and saying this column ties to this column and vice versa. And so we can create manufacturer's part, electrical assemblies, etc. And you just work through this wizard. So, in this case, it's wanting to know how many title rows do you have so we don't read the inappropriate data. In this case, I have one. It's really user friendly. You don't have to have minimal training, if any, to work through these wizards because, they tell you step by step what is required. But, we'll just leave it here for, ensure that the software understands that that's one title. You can see it's grayed out. This next section is where that mapping happens. Over here on the left side, we have the fields that SOLIDWORKS Electrical needs. Over here on the right, we have the fields as defined in the imported spreadsheet. So as far as, mapping these, it couldn't get any easier than the way, we're going to demonstrate here. So if I wanted to associate, the SOLIDWORKS electrical field with the corresponding XLS spreadsheet, it's a simple, drag and drop where we're going to map these columns. So again, scroll over just so you can see we have all those columns here for manufacturer. I just drag that over to that column that, corresponds with manufacturer. Here's description. What language do I want that to be in? Catalog number, that'll be my reference. And so you can see, really user friendly. All we got to say is this is where you're looking for this piece of information. Once that, that mapping and the application understands which column contains which data, you just, work through this various information, user data, that's custom fields and custom variables we can bring in, all the way down to, various translatable data. So there's a lot of information we can push into our database just from an XLS spreadsheet. And, from there, it's just a drag and drop to the corresponding panel. It does allow us to ensure that this is going to be a successful import. So we have to run a data comparison for this. So, if I wanted to, I could save these changes as well so that I could, or any customizations I did to this import for future use. So you can save, as I've mentioned multiple times, these custom configurations if you so choose. But I'm going to go ahead and run that comparison. Again, this ensures that there's no conflicts within the database. This tells me I'm going to add 71 manufacturer's parts within this operation. There are 0 that are going to be modified. So that's telling me all of these are new. There's nothing exists in my database that I'm getting ready to import. I get a preview of the content that will be imported off of that Excel spreadsheet. So again, it runs a test to ensure that we're going to have successful. Once we do that, I can simply hit import, and you're going to witness this in real time. We're going to import 71 manufacturer's parts. In that case, it finished. I'm going to demonstrate that we got those 71 parts. I'm just going to toggle some filters here that'll allow me to easily access the various content, because those can go through various different type of component types. And I just want to easily isolate those. So if you see here, as I scroll down, I have all 71 of those elements fully represented within my database, and you witness that in real time. So if you can imagine, the power of this program, and we could bring in thousands of part numbers and run these batch processes. But again, you're witnessing the actual information being pushed over to that database. So a little wrap up there. When it comes to taking advantage of and migration of legacy data, take advantage of that work that's already done, right? We got wizards that are going to help you, in these various levels, help you get your title blocks, your symbols, and your manufacturer's data, all the while helping automate the mapping and conversion of those. It's going to allow you to maintain the same look and feel that you're doing today. Right here, we see the non-intelligent representation of the schematic. And then on the right-hand side, we see the fully intelligent. Again, visually the same, except the example for SOLIDWORKS Electrical is a lot more efficient and easier to work with. And then again, you can add additional functionality as required. So let's talk about some additional productivity gains that you can see when working in SOLIDWORKS Electrical. So again, everything in this example is a fully converted symbol. In this case, we're going to talk about creating, new content. In SOLIDWORKS Electrical, we deal with intelligent wires. So here I'm grabbing my multi-wire tool to quickly lay out, my 3-phase motor circuit. Again, I have a palette that I can work with for symbols that I use on a regular basis. A simple drag and drop, and I can start to place these symbols. And this example, I am quickly laying out a circuit without defining any additional metadata content. I'm showing you this just to demonstrate the flexibility. I can work with manufacturer's part information, or I can work without it. And so, just quickly, you watch me do it. I created an intelligent circuit. Now, furthermore, just with a simple Control C and Control V, anything I reuse is fully intelligent. Notice that I moved that to 233 and all objects retagged to remain unique for its new location. Nothing was duplicated, even as simple as a Control C and Control V. But here's the cool thing. I'm going to create a reusable circuit, a circuit that is reusable outside of this project and available to my entire team. So this circuit, again, I selected the geometry, I dragged it over, and I'm creating a macro. This macro lets me reuse this particular circuit as many times as I need, and ensure that no information is duplicated in this project or any projects going forward. This, again, is not a single user macro. As soon as I created that, it went out to my database for all users. What I'm showing you here real quick in this preview is my I/O. What I'm going to show you is another level of data reuse. In this case, I might have to reuse a similar setup for my PLC I/O in another project. So this time, instead of creating a circuit macro, I'm creating what I will call a project macro. Essentially, I'm creating a reusable drawing. And this reusable drawing, again, is fully intelligent. I can push that drawing into any project and ensure the data is updated and accurate for that use case. So here, I'm quickly going to add and show you an example of placing a fully intelligent project macro. So I'm going to add a new folder just so I can structure this. We have a lot of tools and functionality, beyond what I'm demonstrating today. This is an organizational one. I created a new folder. Inside of here, I'm quickly going to run and insert my project macro. Now, this is going to be a group of drawings. And so there's my generator PLC I/O. I hit select, and you're going to see, what this does in the background. Again, this is a wizard that allows me to customize this content as needed, but all ensuring that the information that's being pushed in is fully intelligent and accurate. That has completed. So with the click of a button, I added, roughly 8, 9 additional drawings. But better than that is if we look into all of these reused data, everything is unique and corresponds appropriately to its rung number and ladder location. This is true for every element that we're reusing. So we make it extremely easy, to take levels of your design and to, reproduce that in an intelligent manner that allows for, efficient project design going forward. So again, when it comes to the productivity, you're going to have similar, but with more. You're used to working in this environment, but now you have a tool set that can empower you with those automated electrical features, wires, symbols, connectors, circuit boards, terminals, the list goes on. Data reuse, that's a big one. Why manually modify a circuit every time if it's similar? We can just, create a reusable intelligent circuit. But in addition to that, we offer workflow flexibility. You can go from a one line to a schematic. You can go from a schematic to a one line. You can create symbols with circuit data or symbols without. You can create your schematic and create your panel or your panel to your schematic. So there's a lot of flexibility within this. Moving along, because I am tight for time, I just quickly want to talk about some of the quality and format advantages that you can witness and take advantages of with SOLIDWORKS Electrical. So again, fully converted project here. This was a non-intelligent, and I imported all aspects and brought them forward. But I get additional functionality, such as reports and design rule checks. Design rule checks is a live audit, design audit on my project. As I work through here, I can have corresponding rules that I want to check against. If there's an issue listed here on the right, then I know I need to address that. It's built in with hyperlinks so that I can quickly get into the area that I need to and address the issue with intelligent commands. So in this case, I had a wire conflict. I could change and adjust that wire style to remove that conflict. So you have those design rule checks to ensure that you're designing accurately and efficiently. Furthermore, the automation of our reports. We've pushed all that metadata. The whole purpose of us converting those symbols to be intelligent is so that we can produce the documentation and the information, the schematics that we need. With a single click of a button, I am able to generate all of my system reports, bill of materials, wire from to, drawing list, wire tags, if I needed to go out to a wire printer. These are all being added to my projects, but as you can see on the top panel, I can also export those to XLS, TXT, or XML files. So, a lot of robust calculations and information is happening right now. It's creating, again, 5 varying reports customized to my definition here in the background, removing all of that manual work that you guys were used to performing in a non-intelligent CAD tool. So, no duplicated effort. I put the information in once, and then I let the application maintain that information and extract that and compile it into reports as I see fit. So just a few more seconds and this guy should complete. It is doing the wire to and from, and now it is updating the drawing list to correspond with all the added reports. And it should wrap up here very shortly. There we go. And as you can see, I got a whole plethora of reports that just showed up inside of my project tree over here. So let's go ahead and quickly jump out and take a look at this. I know I am nearly at the top of the hour, so if some of you guys got to drop, I can understand, but I just got one more thing after this. But again, you can see my report fully generated, laid out the way that I want. That was a list of wire tags. Now we're getting into bill of material information. And, we can do a lot with these. Fully customizable reporting engine, wire to and from. If you go into 3D, you can populate linked fields once you have, gone that direction and you have that additional intelligence. We're also able to export intelligent PDFs. So, we have all these attributes, these wires, intelligent wires. An added benefit of working in that is that we can continue that intelligence into our outputted PDF so that we have hyperlinking available. If our wire leaves one location, it can automatically take us to that corresponding sheet or related symbols, etc. So we'll take a quick look at that as I export this PDF, and we'll open that guy up and just take a look at some of that hyperlinking. So this is, everything we've witnessed in this is no additional work to you. We imported the symbols the way that they came from your other CAD tool, converted those attributes. They are able to consume the appropriate metadata. We're able to extract that metadata into reports and output it into intelligent PDFs. So you can see, again, anything that's listed here in blue is a hyperlink. Let me get through some of these varying reports here and jump down to the schematic. So here you can see source and destination arrows. As you can see, I get a little icon that adjusts between these guys that allow me to jump. And I'll show you this right now. But if I click on this source arrow, automatically jump me to that page, and I can click these guys back and forth. So you have that hyperlinking, as I mentioned. So again, I'm going to beat it in. Same look and feel, guys. But you're getting improved quality. That is driven by design rule checks, improved documentation by automated system reports, and then we're also allowing you guys to produce intelligent hyperlink PDFs off of all that intelligent data. Lastly, learning curve, guys. Essentially, we're a partner of yours, and more importantly, so is Valley CAD. With you, Valley CAD, and us, we really partner together to ensure your success with our tool and our product. We're intimately involved in the process. Let me put it that way. I take a lot of pride in my job, and so do everybody that I work with and our channel. And so we take pride in being able to learn and understand your process as we go down and look at the transition to our tool. We will explore areas of opportunities with you, work with you and your team to define a very detailed set of metrics to benchmark against. We will work with you to set a proof of concept to ensure that the milestones are met within that proof of concept to ensure a positive outcome. So where I'm showing you is that this is really a partnership. You adopt the tool, but you get a partnership with Valley CAD and then also in support of SolidWorks and my team. So you have the reseller network. They will offer training. So through Valley CAD, you can get hands-on training for the application. We have online content, and I'm going to give you some information for our online content for additional learning information. We have learning resources and a very large user network that our users work really are good together to share knowledgeable information. So all of this is available to you. You have an extremely strong team to ensure step by step that the transition is smooth and everything works out the way that you intend it to and the way that we intended to, because as I mentioned, it's a partnership. We only succeed when you're happy with the product. So change doesn't have to be scary, guys. With SolidWorks ECAD solutions, we can bring forward the legacy data that you have, but add improved intelligence. And overall, with our ecosystem of SolidWorks Electrical, we can help you realize a fully intelligent schematic that goes beyond a schematic into a fully intelligent 3D model, and all the way down to the back end of that, where we are, creating intelligent documentation for that beyond just a schematic. This is production level information to actually create what we are defining in our schematics. Real quick, guys, I have a bonus content. If I can get 3 more minutes of it, we have some really cool design automation out of the box, free to the users. I guess you could say free, but you have to buy the software, but it comes with it. No additional purchases needed. That's Excel automation, and we have an open API. With the two, guys, and all that power of intelligent attributes and things, we can fully automate the creation of projects from an Excel spreadsheet. What you're looking at now is a front-end form that, an example that I threw together that I am going to configure this particular harness arrangement for this trailer package based off of settings that I defined inside of this spreadsheet. We use a lot of information, macros, right? Circuits, reusable circuits, symbols, and the attributes to facilitate this level of automation. But here I can define various properties to be pushed into my project. Am I using the main configuration? Are they going to consume the optional configuration for the second harness? Within our harnesses, what variations are we going to have? How many probes, circuit controls, etc. But I can simply, modify this particular XLS as needed. And then, when you come into SolidWorks Electrical, with the simple click of a button, we can create a fully defined project that was customized based off of the selections through Excel. So I'm just going to preview that. There's the exported XLS. It's going to open that file, validate it. It's looking in there for the information as defined in Excel and pushing that information into the appropriate location. You can already see some folder structures being created in my project over to the left. So I got a schematics folder was just added. A 3D assemblies folder was also just added. So if we expand this information, you're going to see that was automatically created was this layout sheet with the information based off of the definitions that I had, a harness layout, a line diagram and detailed schematic that's driving off of that, and again, associated layouts for that second and harness, etc. So all of that I did with and through XLS. Another example, guys, again, just a quick example I created of a front-end form. This one is the example of a steam generator that got various options that the customer can select. Do we want atomization monitoring, dual fuel oil? You see what's going on. I'm changing motor sizes. I'm adjusting wire sizes. You can get really powerful with this. And again, quick, I'm going to export this through XLS. I'm using Google Sheets. I'm busted, but I found personally that's just what I had access to. Right here, this is API. This again was out of the box. Right here, I'm going to launch SolidWorks Electrical in the background. So just picture me as a sales guy, right? I just worked with the customer to fill out that form. Now all I have to do is interact with this widget and say, hey, go ahead and run Excel automation. It's going to do everything it has to do without even showing the application in the front end, right? I'm working through this little GUI that I created too. And I'm no computer programmer, but I made that little thing over there. I'm pretty proud of it. But anyways, you're seeing what's happened here. The same thing you witnessed before, right? It's creating, but this one's a little more automated. It launched SolidWorks Electrical. It's creating a new project. It automatically triggered Excel automation. And now it's running that L. Again, I'm not seeing the application in the foreground. This is all happening in the background. What we're witnessing here is the insertion of those customized macros based off of the selections I made inside of Excel. Now, obviously, there is some training, that you would have to learn to be able to work with this. But guys, let me tell you, super user friendly. And yeah, you guys will get, off to the races. If you have designs that are similar but different, then this is definitely the way to go. Uh-oh. Do you guys still have me? My screen glitched out a little bit.
Yep. I hear you.
All right, good. All right. Yeah, I'm having, my screen, but is messing up a little bit. But what you guys are seeing, if it's flashing for you guys, is it created, this entire project over here. And inside of that, I have a fully defined project based off of the settings that I put in. So with that, guys, SolidWorks Electrical is an extremely powerful program. I wouldn't even say I touched the surface today. I just talked about, migration. Obviously, I probably triggered some interest somewhere, somehow. You guys probably want to see more. We have a lot of areas for you. I think in the chat, you guys are going to get 2 links within the chat. Those are for our SolidWorks Electrical go-to stage and our SolidWorks Electrical YouTube channel, where you can find a plethora of additional videos that can help you learn more about our tool.
Wow. I really appreciated how Thomas was able to go in there and show how easy it is to move from other CAD software into SOLIDWORKS Electrical Schematic. If you want to learn more about it, give our team a call. Our phone number is going to be 559-726-2276. You can also reach us via email. That'll be info@valleycad.com. Or you can go on our website and you'll see a contact us there. Our website is valleycad.com. So once again, thanks for watching this video. If you got questions, reach out to us. We'll be seeing you soon, and we'll also be talking to you soon. Have a good rest of the day.